Hi everyone, Mark here from Universal Asylum. Now I'm just down here this morning at Glenelg. Thought I'd get out of the house because I woke up at fucking 5 o'clock. You know, I didn't want to upset my fucking neighbours and shit. Yeah, so I thought I'd come down and have a little chat about what exactly I mean by world leaders formally pledging their fealty to Universal Asylum in forming a world trust. However, before I guess proceed with that, I just want to, I don't know, give a bit of a special thanks and acknowledgement to Russell Brand. Now, I haven't followed any of his work for a long time. I sort of, you know, not that I don't like him, I've always appreciated most of what I've been able to comprehend of what he oh, we've got a dog. Hello. Morning.
She's all barking, no bite.
That's alright.
Come on, oh,
That's
you'll
all
get
right.
covered in a fur at all.
That's alright, as long as you don't mind having a pat.
Come on.
Oh, you got a bit of wetness on you. You've been in the water, haven't you?
She doesn't go in the water in the summer,
Yeah.
and in the winter she likes to go. No, come on, you're being silly. Come on. Come on. It's a bit cold in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be a little bit.
Oh, yesterday was much worse.
Yeah, definitely. Bit of cloud cover helps. Oh, she's a bit smelly. Yeah, so it hasn't been. Yeah, it's been a while since I've followed any of Russell Brand stuff, mainly because I've been busy exploring the therapeutic value of, you know, substances such as DMT, etc. However, looking at I'm assuming I haven't looked at the dates on all of his work. I know some of it is certainly in more recent years. Definitely some great presentations which fall very much in line with what I guess Universal Asylum's mission and core values, as well as in the sense of, I guess, highlighting some of the very real dangers and concerns, particularly with the use and abuse of power through well, I guess major corporations, etc. You know, whether those corporations be corporations of all natures, things like information technology is a big one that's been coming up. You know, and yeah, and I guess that consumeristically motivated commodification of human beings as I guess units of economic capital, you know, diminishing humanness and, you know, human rights and ethics across the board. Now, you know, when you look at some of the very real dangers associated with this stuff, you know, many of these, particularly industries such as, so look, cut to the fucking chase, you know, all of these businesses are all about power. And in a way, I will be very transparent about the fact that Universal Asylum, the idea of challenging. So for to formally pledge fealty, like for a start, leaders, world leaders, is all governments and all major corporations. And I'm not 100% sure where to draw the line at what should be considered a major corporation, but I'm talking about all mining companies, all transport companies, major power companies, all of our, fossil fuel industries, all of the information technology industries, Google, Facebook, fucking you name it, across the board. All of these companies are as they expand in power, are becoming a very... Well, there's been major discussions about the unacceptable risk that these companies posed on an ethical basis to human rights and social justice. Now, Universal Asylum is challenging these as world leaders to formally pledge their fealty. Now, what Universal Asylum, to provide, I guess, some clarification of the definition of formally pledging their fealty to Universal Asylum, is to sign over, I guess, at least 51% executive shares over world governments and all major resources. Universal Asylum will require executive powers over all components of our economic systems, world markets. To be signed over, informing a world trust with the intention of facilitating the transition into a one world leaderless system of governance as a viable solution to all of the ethical problems and dangers associated, not only dangers as far as human rights and social justice, however, dangers to our environment. With the intention of working collectively for the comprehensive reform of all of our social structures. Like I've covered in other videos, is very complex stuff, and I'm not professing to be, I don't know it all. I certainly don't. There's micro aspects of economies. There's a lot that I don't understand. What I do understand is if we keep raping and pillaging our fucking earth, we're all fucked. Nothing exists in a vacuum. We cannot continue borrowing from the fucking future. It is as simple as fucking that. I also acknowledge that there is likely to be some resistance from these so-called world leaders to, I guess, swearing fealty to Universal Asylum. However, I advise that in doing so, considering the overwhelming risks, which is specific to different industries, but of things particularly like Facebook and stuff like that, I guess resistance to working collectively and making these resources a community-owned fucking asset in an executive fashion. I'm not saying to strip all of their wealth. 51% should be sufficient. However, there may be, I might need some further advice on that as well. But over to a community asset. I guess, given the nature of the extreme dangers that many of these so-called world leaders pose, and the fact that I am now presenting a viable solution as a social worker, looking at the world, I guess in a bird's eye, collective sort of fashion. I guess any resistance to do so, and can be considered aggravated criminal negligence for the, I guess, mass fallout of refusing to work together. In combining these technologies into a global resource to serve all. Now, as I've discussed in previous videos, creating, well, hang on, rewind for a sec. We look at some of the problems discussed throughout some of Russell Brand's discussions in, the fact that these companies are, they are extracting colossal amounts of personal fucking information, which is currently being used in many unethical manners that is generally to the mercy of consumerist markets, whether that be selling your information of the personal consumers back to governments and other institutions, whether it be for, regardless of the purposes really, in most cases, usually it's, there's a lot of it around, consume as much shit, destroy the earth as fast as possible, work you to fucking death. Wonder why every cunt's depressed. Oh, then we can sell them fucking some antidepressants. Then they can piss it into the water and fuck up the environment even more. We'll fucking pretend, we'll call it humanity. There's nothing fucking humane about it. It's absolutely fucking psychopathic. Sorry, I get a little bit fucking worked up over it all. I guess, the fact of the matter is these powerful tech giants are doing all of this already. A lot of there is massive, if they do not acknowledge the massive dangers and ethical issues associated with this, they're certainly unworthy to be in the positions of power they are in. And if they are not willing to hand this control back over to the general population as a public asset and work together collectively, they are certainly too dangerous to hold these positions of power. Now, with what I've been trying to present with Universal Asylums, I guess, I suppose an interface that incorporates, a lot of existing technologies in using them to better serve, I guess, humans, at the moment where it is highly problematic is when you've got a system that is based on outdated legislation, most of which was founded upon bullshit, and then you've got these, I guess, information technologies extracting all this information and then selling it back to governments, etc. This becomes quite dangerous, especially when you've got dumb cunts assessing the fucking information and using that to make real life decisions that affect people in real life fucking ways. However, as far as I'm concerned, and I do not want to minimise the complexities of this, with what I am talking about in founding a world trust that operates under the same privacy and confidentiality as any other health organisation and applies a mass combination of all these, of predominantly pre-existing technologies and things in more ethical manners to I guess, create automated systems that readjust legislations based on accurate information if we really want to know the dangers of certain different individual substances on an individual fucking levels, we need to know how much they're really being consumed. Even things like our drug driving laws, I'm going to go really out and say like, they'll go, but studies show that marijuana causes accidents because some people who have accidents have marijuana in their system. No, your studies don't. Your studies are flawed. 100% of people who have motor vehicle accidents have oxygen in their system. 100%. We better stop cunts breathing. You're not allowed to breathe and drive no more because you might have an accident. A lot of their statistics actually reflect in reality. I'm not saying to go out and fucking smoke dope and drive. Fuck. When I was young, I was stoned for between 11 and 22. I was stoned every fucking single thing I fucking did. I haven't had any more accidents since I fucking, in the last 16 years. I've had some relapses between that. But, over the years since then, I've had just as many fucking accidents sober as I have intoxicated. Like I said, not condoning any of that shit. I'm just having a critical discussion about the fact that a lot of this so-called legislation is all it reflects is the fact that a certain amount of the population consumes these substances. When I grew up, like I'm talking about typical, when I grew up, you know what the fucking designated driver did? He was smoking fucking dope. Everyone was pissed in the car, passing the bong to the fucking dude fucking... That's where I grew up. Look, I grew up in low socio-economic fucking places. Like, I'm not saying that's how it should be or whatever. What I'm saying is that's how it fucking was. That was the reality of where I fucking grew up. And, I guess another aspect of some of those points is, yes, it reflects a certain percent of the population that consume these substances. And they go, but that's higher than the statistics on people consuming these substances. Because, it's like, really, you've made these substances illegal, you threaten people's careers and all that sort of shit. Half the fucking population does not fucking admit to the use of the fucking substances because of your fear-based fucking governing. You do not have accurate statistics, is my fucking point. And that is just a one very little fucking, I don't have the answer to that because my point is that we do not have accurate information. And when you apply this to logging, if we're going to accumulate fucking information on basically every aspect of everyone's life, which is where it's already fucking heading, we need to do it ethically. And by, I guess, encouraging that in a safe, ethical manner, we can then start doing far more, creating a system that researches and analyses, undertakes like cross-analysis of complex, multifaceted or factor analyses in relation to all kinds of substances, not just drugs and illegal substances, but in respect to people's diets, all of that type of information in tracing various health conditions, stuff like that. But, which I guess can help inform our medical understandings as well as inform social policy surrounding different substances, whatever. And in that sense, when you have a system that is adaptive and adapts those legislations, it becomes safer for people to be open and honest. It becomes less scary having all of this, I guess, what am I? The Universal Asylum is a non-government organisation that is, interested, basically accusing all world governments of being criminal organisations and challenging them to swear fealty to a non-government organisation in facilitating the transition to a one world leaderless system of governance. Now, yeah, that's... so you want the power? No, I'm saying it should be fucking leaderless, but it also should be ethical. And I'm also, very much in line with, I guess all of... I guess Russell Brand and I have very similar, we've gone through the same processes of, I guess recovering from being selfish little fucking junkies to, transitioning to, I guess, the spiritual type lifestyles, or more community driven, humanistic fucking, world views and stuff like that. What do I have to offer now? I have identified DMT and other forbidden fruit that I'm yet to provide a comprehensive list of are I've unpacked one of the world's greatest fucking mysteries. These are not a drug. These are not drugs, or particularly DMT. It is, like I've been saying over and over again, it is a nutrient specific to the central nervous system that facilitates a broad range of, or generalized autoimmune responses, and increase the power and efficiency of such autoimmune responses by fucking tenfold. Now, this is the most fucking valuable resource on the planet that has been suppressed for, probably, the beginning of that probably started 10,000 years or so ago for the purpose of social control. I am putting forward, I've not only looked at that in the sense of what that offers, the sense that that has the potential to put half of our fucking businesses out of business. This has the potential to drastically reduce the need for things like physiotherapy, chiropractors, massage therapists, all those really hard, strenuous jobs, has the potential to put the majority of them out of business. There will always be some room for that type of work. However, the manners by which DMT facilitates the realignment of the musculoskeletal system, and I guess, intrinsic or subconscious engagement and disengagement of intrinsic stabilizing muscles in the realignment of the musculoskeletal system. That has the potential to put many people out of business. Fucking great. Who the fuck wants to go to fucking work? You know how many massage therapists I know who are fucking, their backs are fucked? Work is the number one cause of fucking work, get a job. Create employment. Oh, I'm a real dumb cunt. I created a job. You're the fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. You are contributing to the health crisis. DMT, once again, presents fucking massive value against neurodegenerative disorders such as dementia, Alzheimer's, motor neurons disease. All of these conditions that put massive stress on our fucking system. As has been discussed more than I haven't gone into its psychological benefits too much. Now, this doesn't make you pretend the world isn't dying. It's not like an antidepressant, numb you out, go to work, oh, I'm happy now because I'm so numb to the fact the fucking world's dying. That's not what this is about. It will help you, I guess, rewire in certain ways. But it's not going to make you fucking pretend. And this whole idea of one dose, you take one dose, they responded to one dose. No, this is a fucking fantasy. How many times do you eat broccoli to be fucking healthy, you dumb cunts? You eat it regularly. Traditionally, these substances were used on a weekly basis. And for them, which also, in taking advantage of the anti-tumour, anti-cancer, antiviral effects of these, central nervous system specific nutrients, we need to be consuming them regularly, and they need to be reintegrated back into society. Now the fact, given the major health crisis, given the fact that these substances were sacred, or their sacred or major significance to such a broad range of ancient civilizations and indigenous cultures across the globe, as well as the major health crisis that we have, particularly mental health, but also physical health, in addition to the dangers of proceeding with a standard war on drugs prohibitive style policy against such substances, the dangers that causes environmentally and to the general population, it would be, to pursue or failing to, respond appropriately to what I'm putting out there could be considered further counts of aggravated criminal negligence. Straight out. These substances, it may not be possible to patent these substances, and it is likely that it will require special legislation to be drawn up with a stroke of a fucking pen, like Russell Brand has fucking pointed out. We've done it before on many fucking subjects. This will require a special fucking legislation. These are the most valuable resource in the fucking world, right? And they have massive social implications that I fucking, are more complex than what I've been able to articulate. But I've done a pretty good job. Well, I hope I'm doing my best to put out a long-term fucking plan how these can be integrated into society, and then used so that, in founding a one world leaderless system, or going into a world trust aimed at addressing some of these massive social issues that we are currently facing. The same goes with these. If we look at our economic systems and the global markets left unregulated as they stand, without, it would be aggravated criminal negligence not to pursue a viable solution to that. And the only way of doing that is to collectively pull all these resources back into a world trust that is intended to facilitate the transition into a one world leaderless system of governance that is ethical and serves the interests of everyone. We are approaching a major world or health crisis in terms of our ageing population, which I've discussed over and over again. These, the only way that we have any hope as a species in responding to these major complex fucking, complex future circumstances that we are fucking facing and that are rapidly approaching is for us to collectively pull these resources. The only way that we can remove the extreme danger and of, not only human rights violations and threat to our environment is to get control of the world markets and pull these resources into creating consistency across the board and global stability. And in doing so, it may be possible to relieve a lot of the pressures that are perpetuating a lot of the social issues that we are currently facing. That takes the pressures off of people and allows them to heal and, experience life for what life is instead of trying to micromanage. I was listening to, another one of Russell Brand's videos on the way here, and it was talking about information technology that spies on the individual so they can see how much they're typing and how much. And it's like, I don't know how it measures the level of thought that actually goes in, whether it's just going to measure them on fucking words per minute, or whether, it actually takes into account some fucking level of fucking, decision making, or, the fact that people need to have a little fucking break for a moment, and, I guess to be producing their work and stuff like that. I think, if we're going to have these major breaches of privacy, I don't know. He sort of, had some negative things to say about transparency. Transparency isn't necessarily a problem, providing the system is adjusted so that transparency isn't used against you. If I look back at the Australia that I grew up, if we put everyone, just think for yourself how many times you broke little rules, whatever, maybe you didn't that much, maybe you're just kidding yourself, whatever. But if we put everyone in jail for every crime they ever fucking committed, everyone would be in jail for fucking ever. If you fucking sentenced them on based on every stupid little rule. I'm not saying there isn't, we needlessly fuck people's lives up, putting them in jail. We waste a massive amount of resources. It is so expensive to keep someone in jail, but it's not only the cost, like $180,000 a year to keep one person in fucking jail. The damage you do to that person, they took a drug, so you put them in fucking jail, and then fucking, you took away all their good qualities, and you let them out, and then they're all fucked up and traumatised, and then that causes problems for their family and children. It's like a massive follow-on effects. There's a lot of our fucking attitude to law enforcement that does need to change. We need to really look at our motives and whether we are trying to encourage like rehabilitative type things, but then I guess who's to decide what is rehabilitation for one or another. Especially when a lot of our fucking views on a lot of things have been influenced by propaganda. When you look at prohibition is a massive one. We had no recorded issues. Then we made it illegal, which perpetuated all of these issues that then those issues were later used to justify and blame drugs for. When people were able to buy heroin from the fucking corner store, there were no reports of heroin addicts breaking into things to support their heroin habits. Because they didn't fucking need to. It was affordable. They could probably go and buy it for fucking $2, or probably wasn't even that. It was probably fucking 30 cents back then. Instead of having to go and pay fucking $100 for a fucking quarter or whatever. Now, the point is, by creating legislation that readjusts our fucking legislations, we free up a lot of these resources and a lot of the problems that they perpetuate. Is the idea of it, not saying it's all not fucking really complex, not saying when I'm talking about pledging fealty and signing over executive powers to Universal Asylum as a world trust, it's not like I'm about to go in fucking like a bull at a gate and fucking pull the rug out of world governments. However, particularly around, Universal Asylum isn't planning on, yes, it is planning on forming, I guess, a central database or hub surrounding which to undertake fucking mass multidisciplinary research into the holistic value of DMT and similar substance. However, this needs to occur on a global scale if we wish to protect the Amazonians and their sacred plants. This needs to be explored across the board. We can't have international travellers. We don't at the moment because of COVID and all of those travel restrictions. I'm assuming it has reduced some of that stuff. However, the more that the word gets out of the bag, the cat is out of the bag, and the more people become aware, the more people are reporting positive results from these substances, the more people that are likely to travel internationally, the more people that are likely to exploit the jungles and perhaps practice in unethical and there is plenty of these are currently third world countries and people do get taken advantage of. A lot of people don't as well. You know, a lot of places do practice, you know, ethically in terms of environmental ethics, etc. But then a lot of people fucking don't. You know, the only way for something so big, especially considering the major health crisis which we are facing, you know, and it is obvious that these substances have, the therapeutic value of this substance has been repressed because it is not possible to get patents on them, and also due to the fact that these have the potential to, I guess, rule obsolete many pharmaceutical medications that, quite frankly, have extremely poor science supporting their fucking therapeutic value. And another thing that it is fucking aggravated criminal neglect of the fucking government. How come pharmaceutical companies are never held accountable or liable for the damages that they've caused? And when they are, they might get a fine, big fine, we put that back into the economy. I've personally known, here's one example, Xanax, which they have finally admitted is dangerous, which is why, in my state, which is why it's been restricted to a psych-only drug. I'm petrified of Xanax. I don't want to be around anyone on Xanax because of the blackouts that they cause. I have met one person who has been convicted of murder due to a out-of-character violent crime that he committed whilst on Xanax. Can't fucking remember killing his friend. I've also met another person, his brother can't remember killing his fucking girlfriend or wife whilst on Xanax. Can't remember. Not the type of people who run around killing people. And violent Xanax blackouts from people who are not typically violent are fucking commonly reported. Our prisons are full of people. And this is not, you know, even... This is one of the few that has been fucking acknowledged. There's a number of medications that have had similar fucking problems to the extent that you've got, like, globally it must be, hundreds of thousands of people incarcerated for crimes they cannot remember committing, or crimes, out-of-character crimes, due to medications that have extremely poor science, yet we have never held any of these, we've never released any of the people, even though we've now admitted that these certain medications, not all of them, we've now admitted certain medications have these fucking dangers. We haven't removed the criminal records from the people who now have stain for lives that now, inhibit their employment prospects. We haven't let the people out of jail who are incarcerated due to the fact that they were given they are victims of the medical system, is what they are. And my point is, you know, the science behind the value of some of these medications and the ways in which they're prescribed, particularly a lot of your antidepressants, the science is very poor. However, we have a substance such as fucking DMT that offers massive therapeutic value, or has overwhelming science backing up its therapeutic value, supporting that it is non-toxic, non-addictive, you know, you do not develop a tolerance, all of which are characteristics of a fucking food source or form of sustenance, nutrient, than a drug. Yet, no one's interested. We'll fucking bury that one, you know, because there is no money in it. And I guess what is even more problematic to those, you know, even though such a substance does pose, you know, immense value to Western medicine, the broader value of such a substance, you know, I guess, in the sense of its reintegration into society and the broader value that it offers, well, that poses a problem to Big Pharma, doesn't it? We can't have Big Pharma isn't in the business of what the world farming plants and having them in the supermarket for people to buy, because that Big Pharma can't put it in a pill and sell it. Ooh. Fuck you, Big Pharma. I don't care if you want to fucking kill me. Fuck you, fucking the church and your fucking forbidden fruit. I don't care if you want to fucking kill me. Fuck you, Google. Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. The whole fucking lot of yous. You know, all of you mining fucking giants. You have no fucking ethics. You have no morals. You know, with what you are doing to our fucking world, it is aggravated fucking criminal negligence. You know, to continue to justify industries such as a lot of your fossil fuel industries, we need to create a system which is more efficient and where these liabilities to our species and our beautiful planet do naturally become obsolete. You know, they want to call it a fucking, you want to call me a communist? Like, your system of capitalism isn't capitalism at all. Well, it's a free market, yet what? We're going to protect all these businesses that should be, by rights, becoming obsolete. You know, there are many facets to that. You know, I don't know that what I'm suggesting is particularly communist. You know, I am suggesting major reform of our entire socio-economic structure. However, that isn't, you know, there's still, you know, it is somewhere in between. You know, everyone seems to argue like capitalist, communist, fucking, you know, I also argue like communism has never happened. Perhaps some variations have been a little bit more closer to communism than others. Most of them have been dictatorship regimes where the wealth was accumulated by pieces of shit and it was top heavy and most of the population missed out like fucking normal. You know, just the fucking, yeah, but you know, what I am suggesting is reform of the whole lot to take the pressure off of fucking everyone. You know, to create a more loving, soulful fucking society where people are free to fucking enjoy, you know, I guess, their lived experiences. People actually have time to live. You know, not everything can be counted in fucking money. It's what most of you cunts don't fucking understand. And the thing is, but we've got a system that forces people to be in poverty. Like, I can be grateful because I've got a job and I've got some cunt boss who's got a camera that can fucking like micromanage everything. We're going to micromanage the fuck out of everyone. It's like we pretend we're a society that embraces diversity. So we preach all this fucking embracing diversity, yet we want to micromanage every cunt. How the fuck is micromanaging every cunt embracing diversity? He's a fucked in the head. You know, it is hypocritical as fuck. You know, so I guess, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm not only challenging, fucking, you got some fucking social worker trying to make a fucking, you know what, organisation to actually fucking help people. A helping people organisation. You know, he can't make any fucking money. You know how many likes on Facebook? I made my first $50 sub a day for Universal Asylum. Because I taught a dance class. You know how many likes I got on Facebook? None. Oh. You know what, people think I'm crazy because I want to stand up for the fucking world and go, this system is fucking wrong. Or we can't be seen to support Mark. Mark's standing up to the government. Mark's not going to be a sheep. You know, these are all, what the fuck? Oh, we can't, oh look, Mark put up Mark must be crazy. He thinks the plants that all the fucking indigenous people fucking used, they were considered sacred by all fucking ancient civilizations. He thinks they might help this child who we're going to turn the life, we better not share that. Nah. Mark must be tripping. Because all those indigenous people, they were just tripping. They never did anything productive with the world, did they? And I hate that. People go, oh, what did the Aboriginals do to Australia, with Australia for, like, what, however many 100 million years was it? You know? You know what they didn't do? They didn't destroy the fucking all the fucking water systems, all the rivers. They didn't destroy all the fucking land in under, or what, 200 fucking years. That's what the Aboriginals didn't fucking do. You want to call them primitive and say they didn't do anything? Fucking, what? How productive have we been? We are fucking, the human race, what are we racing towards? We're racing towards destroying fucking everything. It's fucking stupid. You know, it is at the detriment of us fucking all. But yeah, Mark's tripping. Oh, fuck, he ate a plant. He must be crazy to fucking suggest. No, I'm putting forward a fucking sound hypothesis on DMT. What it fucking is, it is a fucking nutrient. I'll fucking risk my whole fucking life, everything, standing up to the governments going, no, this is bullshit. This is being suppressed. This is a fucking nutrient. And my professional opinion as a social worker, with my look at what's happening fucking globally, is that the best thing for this is all rights and fucking authorities to be signed over to Universal Asylum with the intention of forming a world, or as a component, or, you know, of forming a world trust with the intention of forming a one world leaderless system of governance. And in doing so, putting forward that fucking asset, the greatest, the most valuable resource on the fucking planet, right? And challenging all of the world powers, Google, Facebook, all of them, like the whole fucking lot, the banks, the lot, financial, fucking, yeah, you name it, to put forward executive shares over to Universal Asylum in forming a world trust, or formally pledge their fucking fealty in the, or by signing over executive shares to everything over to Universal Asylum as a world trust, with the intention of forming a one world leaderless system of governance designed to I'm not really sure how to put it, but basically designed to facilitate the ethical management of where we are and lead us out of this increasingly dangerous position that we're in. You know, what, with all these toxic leadership structures and this advancing technology, it's fucking scary as. You know, everyone probably thinks, oh, this is so scary, leaderless. What about fucking, like, you know, is it going to be Judgment Day with fucking, like, what, Terminator type shit? You imagine fucking some of these leaders with control of the type of fucking technology they've fucking got now? Think anyone's fucking safe? We need to go leaderless. It is the only fucking way. You know, a lot of those values were fucking, I guess I learned through my, were influenced by things like my experience with 12-step fellowships, you know, where there is no actual leadership. Everyone is equal. You know, and part of, I guess, letting go and the leaderless stuff, I also learnt from what my father did. You know, the really unique action that he took to help me recover from alcoholism when I was quite young. You know, which in many ways involved letting go of the reins. And allowing me to learn for my fucking self, rather than all the dumb cunts who kept trying to fucking micromanage me. Because all that did was made things fucking worse. You know? Yeah, so I guess, I don't know whether that clarifies what I mean by formally pledging their fealty, but yes, quite simply, you know, I'm putting forward my work, which, you know, of course I haven't got any rights signed over for yet. However, which is why I am putting it out. Well, I guess I do have copyright on my website, not only for my theory surrounding DMT and other forbidden fruit as central nervous system specific nutrients. However, I also have the copyright on the application of these certain technologies in forming a one world leaderless system of governance. And the other thing that I don't know whether people will fucking trust me to in working towards building this. You know, I've already got a sound theory on the most valuable thing on the world that I'm claiming needs to be signed over to a world trust. You know, maybe some of my values are reflected by the fact that I've actually fucking, you know, conjured up such a fucking abstract plan to save the fucking world. I don't know, you know, well, I'm the type of guy who fucking will invest my last little bit of everything and then fucking, you know, fucking call in a favour from my mate and get COVID-19 treatment painted on my fucking only vehicle and fucking go stand on top of that, put a noose around my neck, you know, like, and ask to talk to the Prime Minister because I'm scared, like, you know, some bird who fucking, you know, I don't want to see her lose her little baby, will, you know, to try and get a COVID treatment tested, yeah, just to not get fucking talked about or talked to again, bitch. You know what? Fucking stat my motorbike, nearly kill myself, smash my fucking collarbone to pieces, and then get up and start trying to build my fucking organisation because I don't want to see my friend's little baby die. You know, and what I'm going to risk, what I'm going to fucking risk to actually get fucking heard after what? Sending letters to all the Prime Minister. Ooh, we can't listen to Mag. You know, trying to be discreet about it. You know, I've been trying to be discreet to try and get some rights to my fucking work. I've fucking tried everything. So you know what I'm going to fucking do? I'm going to put it all out there so if you steal my fucking work, everyone will know. Fuck you. And I'm going to burn your fucking flag, cunts. Because that's what I have to. You've backed me into a fucking position where I've got to go and stick the Universal Asylum fucking flag in and set your fucking flag on fire, cunts. You know, fucking... oh, he's mentally ill. Oh, look, Mark's all traumatised by our war on drugs. Fuck you, you cunts. Here you go, politicians. How many people have you known personally to die from your war on drugs? Because I don't know how many people I've known die. You know, I've done 4 fucking rehabs. You know what? Half the people from all of those rehabs, and they're people I developed fucking close fucking bonds with. People just like me. You know, you guys, most people have no idea the intimacy of 12-step fellowships. You know, I do with Psychosocial Anonymous, my adaptation of such fellowships, you know, to suit basically really anyone, to use as a platform of self-development for really anyone. You know, no idea the level of intimacy. I couldn't count how many people that I've, you know, known quite intimately who have passed. You know, and what people want to blame the drugs for that. Most of the circumstances have been the people that I've known to be fucking murdered. The people, like, the circumstances, they're the circumstances created by your war on drugs. It's not the drugs. You know, yeah, people can fucking, yes, it's possible to overdose on heroin. However, it's a lot more likely when you're fucking buying it from a black... You know how many chemists, how many chemists have fucking murdered someone for not paying their chemist bill? I fucking don't know of any. That type of stuff happens when you create unrestricted black markets. It's fucking stupid. And this stuff is all known. It's all been fucking covered over and over again by health professionals, and this stuff has been ignored over and over and over again by governments at the to the detriment of the general population, for the purpose of politicians maintaining positions of power, which makes their governments really criminal organisations. You know, like I've said before, there is no point in throwing everyone in fucking jail. It's counter-fucking productive. What we need to do to make amends for this is to unite as a world trust and collectively facilitate the transition into a one world leaderless system of governance. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, that fucking hurts. Oh, fuck. Fuck, man, I'm fucking numb. Yes, so... I don't know if it's possible to create a more loving society for all, but we need to take the pressure off people to do that. You know, and, you know, slowly encourage, you know, I mean, if the reality is for a lot of people, we need to gradually facilitate that transition into an automated society. It's not something you can just go, oh, the technology's here, you all don't work no more, because people go fucking mad. People don't know what to do with themselves. We need to gradually take the pressure off, you know. These are big complexes, a whole broad range of complex fucking discussions surrounding that. You know, which I guess I need to put forward the concept of universal asylum on my own. I need to step to the governments and to the world leaders on my fucking own. And then, you know, I guess others who hopefully are able to see what I'm trying to put together might have something to add to that. You know, I know I certainly, obviously, I mean, Russell Brand's, I've put a lot of his stuff up because it falls so much in line with everything that I'm trying to do and those broader, I guess, humanitarian aspects of things. That rationale between the bigger picture of what I'm trying to facilitate in a one world leaderless system of governance, lifting the pressure off of everyone. You know, he's far more articulate than me. You know, and I quite frankly, with the resources I don't have the time or resources, or even, I don't even have editing software at the moment. All I can do is I can trim the ends off of the clips so then you don't see me turn the camera on and off and stuff. That's what I am able to achieve at the moment because my shit computer is crashing. Oh, guess what? I can't even watch Netflix now because guess what? They're no longer going to update my model of fucking computer so I can buy a new one because you know what we need? The world needs 7 billion people all throwing out their computers all the time to benefit Apple. Fuck you, Apple. Fuck you, Microsoft. Fuck you, all you companies. The world doesn't need 7 billion people with boxes this big full of cords. You know, we need regulation of the entire system to prevent companies. Even I'm pissed off with Sony. You know what, they change things, so then what, you buy it, so oh no, we're going to change all our systems. So now all of your batteries no longer fit our new technologies. Fuck you, you got to buy all that stuff all over again. We're going to make lots of money. The rubbish dump's going to be full of our rubbish. They're fucked in the head. Oh, just fucking, I don't know. You know, I guess in order to change any of this, it all needs to go back into a world trust owned by, you know, a collective fucking world trust for the benefit of the many rather than the few. Oh, my knees are going to get fucked again if I do. Oh, fucking. Oh. Really wagtail.